Hello, hello, Nightshade here, and today we are playing on the Girlcraft server. So, in the last update, we got a new fresh start. We gotta keep all our stuff, or whatever we wanted to keep, either in our inventory or in a chest somewhere else. I kept a few things, but I've been doing a little bit of exploring and stuff. And what I wanted to do this, particular season was map art. I have a bit of an obsession with map art, and wanted to do this for a while. And honestly, I'm just gonna go about doing it. Yes, all my gear is pretty much max level. No, I did not go and get any of it. Netherite it. It turned into netherite. None of my stuff is netherite. I will have to do that eventually. I don't know if we're allowed to go to the nether yet, so I'll avoid doing that until I know for sure. But for now, I think today we're just going to kind of focus on making a little area to do map art stuff. Yeah, doing our, yeah. Now, I've got here a line that I've started. This is pretty much the top of the map. There's going to need to be like a little bit more messing around with like where it is and everything. But for now, this is the top of the map. Where this line starts is where we start getting color on our map. I have a map right here. So I have the map right here. If we just look at it, you can kind of see that the line is visible. But the shading is a little bit off in certain places. That's because the top area isn't only a single block up everywhere. Actually, in most cases, it's 4 or 5 blocks up. So we'll have to edit this area here. Yeah, we also have this nice little village here just for, you know, stuff. Yeah. Go into a little bit more detail about what exactly it is I want to do. On the server as of right now, but yeah, I've also done a little bit of exploring. As you can see, I got this smithing template actually from that shipwreck there is where I got that smithing template from. So that's where that came from. I've already taken down a villager house to try to help with the shading. That villager house is also gonna have to go. That one's probably gonna have to go. The rest of them can probably stay. I don't have a problem with the rest of them. Just that one, and the one that was right about there that I've already taken care of. So we'll have to remove that and to deal with that. As for actually doing anything with the villagers, I don't really plan on doing anything with them. I have some spare villagers and some catch eggs that you catch them in. And that, honestly, that's kind of my go-to at this point, so. I also have a few other things. I actually found this at a pillager outpost that I found on my way here. I did not get any smithing templates, which I'm annoyed about. I did a little more wondering and found this smithing template in a stronghold. We're technically not supposed to find strongholds or go to the end. I was just mining down somewhere and happened to fall into one. So, yeah, that's a thing that happened. That is something I brought with me. I brought that with me. I brought that. Oh, I think I got that. I don't think I brought that with me. There's some more. Yeah, I also found that shipwreck had a treasure map, and the treasure was somewhere here in the village. So I found that and got ourselves a Heart of the Sea and some cooked fish, as well as some prismarine, and yeah, sort of stuff. I had to go mining for some redstone to make this map because I didn't happen to bring map materials with me. So iron, parts of the house that I took down, yes. Let's see here. I crafted that. I looked everywhere for a ruin, trail ruins, but could not find it. But we have some extra modded stuff going on. Well, not really modded, but extra little plugins and stuff, like different items and stuff like that. So there's that. Oh, I found a portal, ruined portal, and all I took was the golden carrots because I'm like, I need food. Nothing else. I need food. So I have a bunch of iron in here. I've been mining. Iron's gonna be one of those things I need a lot of for map making, and not the cooked version. Yeah. So now I kind of gave you a rundown on where all my stuff has come from. We're going to, I guess, kind of get to work on this little section here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find a way to get XP, or else I'm gonna be mining this all with stone tools, because this mending shovel is not doing so hot, and there's a lot of dirt I'm gonna have to mine. So yeah, let's get this down to the bottom layer here. We're doing the bottom layer at 63 because that is the minimum that I have to do in order to at least, you know, not have to deal with water too much. Yeah, I'll probably put a border around it on every edge, including this edge. I'll have to do some terraforming here. Maybe just remove all this. Just make it more or less flat. But yeah, I have to do some terraforming so this top part is a little more flush. Not quite completely flush, because we still need the new line here at the top so that the shading is correct on the whole thing. I'll explain what it is I want to do with this afterwards, I guess. So, this could take a while. If I had more ore, I might actually make a beacon. I do have extra beacons. I think I was like one of the only people on the server who actually got a beacon. So I went about getting a beacon. Yeah, not just one beacon, I have several beacons. Beacons aren't really a problem. This is this corner of the map. That's that corner of the map. I don't really know where the corners of the map are on that end. Actually, I think I have them marked with my shovel, just a bit off. So one off actually. So yeah, I guess I gotta move all this stuff here. Just a villager. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these, at least this house and this bit, as well as much dirt as I can when my shovel holds up. I only have the one shovel. Probably should have thought about bringing more shovels. I'm not gonna use my... I can always, I guess, craft stone ones, but that's... So, yeah, a lot more birch, and a lot of other items for making where the map's gonna be. I'll probably build like an area below where I will put the map art when I'm done, or something like that. I don't know. So, yeah, I want to. Alright, I am definitely not going to be using stone shovels on this. So, I suppose we should get started on the hole here. Yeah. Let's go and do a quick time lapse. if you can't tell from all these chests, I, yeah, managed to clear out the whole thing and cover up that corner. This is what it looks like. The digging, I realized I need a better shovel. So I made a better shovel. And then that one basically died. So I made another better shovel. I think I went through like 3 or 4. I went through way too many shovels on this pool. A lot of these villagers kind of have jobs, and I've kind of been sort of trading. I mean, that's how I got this whole setup. I got all the bookcases from a couple of villagers over here. A little setup over here. I should probably definitely cover that up. Mainly so mobs don't try to get in. And then the idea is to kind of peek through here and try to trade with them this way. Sticks and actually mending books. I was kind of surprised when I got mending books, and honestly I was hoping for efficiency 5, but when I got mending, I'm like, you know what? I'm not complaining, you know? I'm just gonna keep it and work with it and go from there. Having mending for 16, it's not expensive, it's cheap mending. Also, I should probably mention the reason why all the colors are more muted than they were in the beginning of this video is because there's the seasons plugin on the server. Yeah, so we have different seasons. Currently, I would say it's probably fall based on the color of the trees and other things. Now, oak trees and oak leaves will change color. Birch don't tend to. Azalea don't. I don't think moss changes color. A lot of the blocks that don't change color between biomes don't change color. But grass and birch leaf and oak leaves and various other leaf types will change colors. Now, the problem with having chosen a plains biome, I mean, it's flat. I don't have a ton of digging, which is actually a benefit, but the worst part of picking a plains biome, or really any biome other than a desert or a savanna, is that we also have winter. And in the winter, it snows. And I mean, a lot. Well, not a lot, but enough to be annoying, especially when making map art. Now, there's a way I could pretty easily deal with this, and that would be to build like a glass cover over the top, or some other opaque block to stop snow. I could even get a bunch of string. Where would I get a bunch of string? Yeah, maybe I'll see if I can find a spawner in this area or something. I'm really not sure. Yeah, I haven't really explored the caves around here. I've been busy digging. Like, digging a lot. But I have managed to finish that digging, so now I suppose we can explore, considering I need, like, a ton of raw iron. Alright, so I should probably give an idea of what we're doing here. Why are we going through all the effort of making these maps? Now, I could very well just make maps that are like a pattern or something, and just hang in your base. So I have had this idea for a while, and I wanted to actually do it. I would actually do it in survival because that would be fun, and honestly, I'm already set up to do it. That only took like 3 or 4 days. But I'm already set up to do it, so why not just, you know, do it? Yeah. Now, last season, I had started doing it. Unfortunately, I've decided to change the designs, so those beginning ones are kind of obsolete, and I'll have to redo them again anyway. But what I wanted to do was make a kind of a card game. Now, I got this idea from, well, Girlcraft, Beef's card game. It's not as complicated, of course, because I'm not sure how many players on this server have played card games or would know or anything like that. So it's the simplest thing. You collect cards, and there's a little bit of a game aspect to it that you could play with if you wanted to. You don't have to. I don't really care if you do. But, yeah. That's the idea. And
where I got it, and I'm a big dog person. I like dogs. I have shown dogs a lot. I show dogs all the time. Like, well, whenever there's a show and it's nearby, I don't have to travel forever away, and it's not like nationals. It's like the only reason I travel far away. Um, so yeah, there's that. But for the most part, yeah. What I want to do, I kind of skimmed over a map I have. That again, it's a bit out of date. I'm gonna probably do it a little bit differently. Now this, I think it says it's a field map. I think is one. Yeah. Now they're all based off of dogs. All these maps I've done. Yeah, I like dogs. I like dog breeds. The dog The dog breed I show is called an otterhound. They are very, very rare, and that is spelled Otter, like the animal otter, not water, as a lot of people seem to think water when they hear otterhound. I mean, technically, otterhounds are the only water hound that can track scents through water, but I mean, it's not water, although that would be a conveniently good name. So, yeah. What did it? What the idea that I went with is dog breeds, because there's a lot of dog breeds a lot of people don't know much about or even exist, like the otterhound. It's very rare. No one knows it exists. Like I've talked to a lot of people about it, and every single time I have to explain what one is. I currently have a few. I mean, I guess two or three of them are technically mine. The idea of the maps was supposed to be based around dog breeds. I decided there's a lot of breeds. There's a lot of breeds. Like a lot. And so, I mean, why not represent as many as possible, if not all of them, and base it around how rare they are. So, the rarer the dog, the rarer the card. I mean, that might make it a little bit weird if you're just going for a breed you know. But if someone decides to collect all the breeds, then you might be able to learn something. Now, this is the idea. Now this is just the Basset Hound. I have a few other dogs. I managed to get through the most common some of the more common breeds of in the herding group and the hound group, because I mean, alphabetically it's just easier. Anyhow, this is pretty much how a card would look. I'm even pretty happy about the design, the dog picture. I have other maps to show, but this just happens to be the one I have here. This is, of course, is a Basset Hound. Many people have seen a Basset Hound. Most people know what one is. Long ears, wrinkly. The pictures are a little pixelated, but they're actually pretty good for their size and usage. Might look for a better one. Anyhow, this is a Basset Hound, very much so. Now, I have the map broken up pretty well. At the top, of course, you have the name. Of course, the name will also be the name of the map. This one just isn't named, so it's just a map. I'll name them later. But how I've got this, and then I got a couple different colors as kind of borders. The borders I think are kind of cute, but I've changed the colors and decided to go with something a little bit brighter. So instead of that almost maroon and purple, I have decided to go with a more pink and purple, because pink and purple work together very well. And why not? It looks kind of pretty. Yeah. Now, around the edge, you can see that there is green. That might seem a bit weird. It doesn't really match pink and maroon or pink and purple very much. That is actually how you can tell how rare a card is. This is a common card, so it's green. There's other types of cards that are other colors. I got a couple different things, like a rare dog will be red. That will have red around the edges instead of green. And some other things. Now, then up in the top right corner, I also with the name, I made sure it spanned the whole top of the map because of the fact that some dogs have very, very long names. But this isn't really the layout I'm going to go with necessarily. I've changed a couple of things, and yeah. Anyhow, next to the image, we have kind of a couple different stats, and that's just based on the weight of the dog, or average weight of the dog, the average height of the dog, and the average age range. On average, how old did the dog get? Some dogs don't get very old, like the English Bulldog. Some dogs get very old, like the Basset Hound, apparently. I didn't think they got very old. There's other dogs that get pretty old, too. Anyhow, that's kind of indicated by kind of obvious things, I think. Seem obvious to me. A anvil kind of depicts weight. Anvils are heavy. That was my thinking there. I don't know if there's a better idea. I would love to hear it if there is. And then you got below that the height. I really didn't know what to do with the height, so I kind of got a couple of arrows. I have a slightly different design for that, but not a lot different. For the most part, still kind of an arrow. And finally, the bottom of that section, you have the clock. I mean, can you come up with a better idea for age of something? Clock just seemed the most fitting. Oh yeah, I forgot at the very top. That looks like a sniffer egg. What? May I question you? What in Minecraft, in general, Minecraft, makes you think of the hound group the most? That's kind of just to denote what group. Each group I've got something different. For go away, villager. I know I'm in your way. Okay. Anyhow, the hound group is denoted by sniffer egg, because I mean sniffer, hounds, sniff, seemed like the most reasonable option. For the herding group, I had done sheep face pretty much, because I mean herding sheep. I mean that can also fit in cattle and that kind of stuff, but for the most part, when you think herding, you think sheep, a flock of sheep. For the other groups, I'm not really sure, because then you got working. I was thinking for working something more along the lines of like an iron golem face, mainly due to the fact that working group dogs are typically, not always, but in most circumstances, they tend to be They tend to be guard dogs. Not always, there's some that aren't, but most of them are guard dogs. Another group you have, toy group. I have no idea what to do for the toy group. I have literally no idea. Please give me ideas. I don't know. Like, what do you even do for the toy group? What Minecraft toy? What in Minecraft seems like a toy? I'm really not sure. Yeah. Then there's the terrier group. Now, terriers typically are rat or mouse or just any general, vermin type hunters. They always hunt small mice and stuff like that. That doesn't mean I know what I'm going to put down for them, but that's what they do, typically. Oh yes, we also have the non-sporting group. Now, non-sporting dogs, I'll give another general description again. Any ideas? Not really sure. I was thinking maybe like a parrot or a panda or something kind of weird, just kind of a random thing. Mainly because non-sporting dogs are kind of whatever dogs don't really fit in any of the other groups. They're kind of the odd ones out, you could say. And then finally, you have the sporting group. The sporting group consists mostly of bird dogs, so I was thinking chicken. I didn't know what else to put. There's not really any other birds. I mean, a parrot maybe, but why would a dog be? It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, bird. So like a chicken or something like that. A parrot just seems kind of mean. But chicken makes sense. No one minds killing a chicken too much. I mean, unless you, yeah. No one minds killing a chicken too much, I don't think. I'm sure there's some people who do mind, but I don't really mind, and yeah. So that makes the most sense to me. And for the most part, those are like the main groups. There's 7 main groups, and that's them. You have herding, hound, non-sporting, sporting, working, toy, and terrier. Yeah, those are the groups. Now, at the very bottom, you also see that there's a little bit of a description of the dog. I don't know how legible it is. I know what it's supposed to say, so I mean, it's legible to me. But yeah, it seems relatively legible. I've done it small, so they add relatively long descriptions. Yeah, actually, yeah. We're gonna go to spawn. I haven't actually really shown spawn, so spawn. And welcome to the Azalea Village. This is spawn on Girlcraft. Yeah. Some kind of crates over here. Maybe I can get some food out of this. Technically, you can. You can get daily crate drops. I did get food out of it. Nice. You got food out of it. I did ask for food, and I guess I received food. That was very useful. I can use food. We've got that. There's also a little bit of garden. So pretty much anyone can come in here and take what they need as long as they replant it. Then there's we actually have a mailbox room. In here, everyone's got their own mailbox. And this is where we were allowed to hide some stuff. Not really hide it, but we were told we could put some stuff in here. Now this is my chest of goodies, I guess. I have myself a couple beacons. I did say at the beginning of the video that I had a couple beacons. I have 13. Fun. I have some extra blaze rods. I didn't really know when we'd be allowed to go into the nether, so that's useful. I have some netherite. Not very useful until I can get a netherite upgrade. I have some extra diamonds. Although, with the amount of diamonds I got from digging, I have some eggs. I've been doing that daily thing almost every day. Some money. We do have currency on the server. Again, didn't know how long we wouldn't be allowed into the nether. How long it would be till we were allowed to go into the nether. So I got some warped and crimson nylium. I have a couple villagers just in case I couldn't find any or decided not to settle in a village. We're in a village, so yeah, these are just plain villagers. They don't have any special trades or anything like that. I didn't save any of my good villagers because I wanted to actually put in the work for them. So yeah, I have some nether wart and some soul sand again. Didn't know how. Anyhow, these are all the maps that I had made, as you can kind of see already. I got a German Shepherd. A little bit longer on the description, and as you can now see the sheep I did in the top corner to basically denote that this But hey, this is a herding breed. We also got they're not the greatest, but they depict the dog in enough detail that you can kinda tell what they are. Got miniature American Shepherd, the Basenji, they're a fun one. I think almost all of these, if not all of these, are all, considered to be common dogs. So we got Pembroke Welsh Corgi, Basset Hound. I hadn't quite finished the Hound group, but I had gotten through the whole herding commons. There's about 8 common dogs in each group, and I want to say there's about 8 of each other type. There's 4 different types and about 8 of each group. Now, not all the groups have exactly 32 dogs, and honestly, not all of that general rarity have exactly 32. Have exactly, I guess, 32 dogs. So, yeah, have exactly 8 dogs from each group. So some groups have more, some less. The smallest groups are the toy group and the non-sporting. So I've had to break up the groups a little differently there. But herding and hound are some of the bigger groups. We got border collie. And we also got Belgian Malinois. And I think those are all the maps I have. Also got some other fun little things. I got item frames. This is how many item frames I need. Someone placed this here, so I'm just gonna use that. Total for all the dog breeds, and this is just the general dog breed. So this is how many item frames I need for all the dog breeds. I mean, that's a lot. There's at least 200 breeds, and I would beg to differ that there's more than 200 breeds. This is exactly 200 item frames. So, yeah, there's a couple more than this. And I'm taking these in here. So, yeah, I only have one. The Australian, this was the first one I did. It's the only one, yeah. And they all have a little bit of a description. I'm not gonna read the description. Yeah, there's a couple other things going on here in the general spawn area. Got ourselves a little bit of a bank so we can kind of go see our balance. Or we can also pay someone. My balance is currently 129,111.30. Then we have a little area over here for the jobs, so you can pick up jobs and stuff. Don't know how's the top looking. Yeah, a little bit too dark on the shading in some places, so we'll definitely have to remove this down to 1 block so that everything is on the same exact level. Yes, the top's supposed to have some shading, not that much shading. Like, shading like right over here. This is the kind of shading you want to see. It's like a light shading. This is much too dark, so it won't work out that way. So, yeah, removing the grass, I have to remove that tree there. It's not really a tree, it's kind of just, yeah. My form of a tree farm that's actually rather ugly and probably not going to work out too great, but you know what? Why not? It's fun. It's easy. Yeah. Also, for those maps, you saw that the background's not quite white. I'm sure you can tell that the background's not quite white, especially on this map, considering it shows the leg and the other parts of the dog are a lot lighter in color, a lot whiter than the actual outside of the map. Now that is because the map is not made from a white material, it's made from birch planks. Don't know if I have any birch plank. I think I have some birch. Yeah. Birch planks. Or sand will also work. Same color pretty much.
basically, this is my... This is the color. This is very much the color you see here. Well, the lower part of it. It's, stone or something to kind of put over the top. This is why you need a new line. This is why you need a new line. Okay. Yeah, now you can see that's the color that we got going on the whole map here. Now that color is made by birch. I use specifically birch wood for it. In various different ways. You know what? Let's check out my creative testing world so I can kind of give you a view of the little tweaks I've made and that kind of stuff. Alright, welcome to my creative testing world. It's not locked because it's literally just about this map art. This is the map. This is kind of my general outline for now, you could say. Now, it just got a little icon there. That was going to be the hound symbol, but I decided, nah. You can see this part is all made out of birch. That's sand. It doesn't really matter. That can be sand or solid birch. Or birch planks. Most of it's made out of birch slabs. I've kind of used the birch because it's got a birch variant and a slab variant. I have used the slab variant to kind of denote where I don't want to build. The planks, the full block planks, I'm using as this. This is where I'm not going to build. This over here, the half slabs, this is where I'll build. So yeah. We also have some testing with colors. Cherry leaves are the same color as pink, so if I can get some cherry leaves, I think. And then amethyst also counts as purple. Same basic pattern. In this, I don't have it going all the way across. I still think it should, honestly. I'm not entirely set on this complete layout, but I may instead make it go all the way across. I may even make it more than one line, because, again, some of the names are freaking long. So yeah, I've changed the icons so they look a little bit different. I have stat there, I think there was on the other maps. This is where you'd have your symbol. Now, I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should have like some sort of other notation for the type of card, because I get the green on the outside, but I feel like that could be easily overlooked. So maybe something else somewhere else. I don't know about right there. I could put it up in the top corner or something like that. I'm not sure. Then, of course, we have the lines denoted, so separate lines for writing. There's exactly 6 lines, so if something doesn't fit within 6 lines, then I'm screwed. Yeah, this is what the basic map layout looks like. Pretty much the same thing, slight different changes. The differences are the top part doesn't go all the way across the top. Again, I may go with all the way across the top. Yeah, I made the icons a little bit smaller so I have a little bit more room to mess with, so I can make more numbers, I guess. Because they're smaller, I can put less room between them, and that means I might be able to have more room to put other stuff. Yeah, work on that. They feel in this maybe a little more cleaner. I'm not entirely sure. The magnifying glass is mainly meant for Hound Group. Again, I'm not sure that's probably not what I'm gonna go with. I'll probably go with a snipper egg or snipper face or something like that. Still not sure on that either. We will see. I'm not 100% for having the word stat on the top. That can always change. I can always remove that. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I won't. But for now, it's there. Yep.
I don't know if the green around the edge is enough to help to know that this card is common. I mean, in my opinion, because I'm looking for it, it seems like it'd be enough. And if you were to mention it to someone, hey, the way to tell how rare your card is through the color around the edges, then I would be pretty set on that. I think the pink and purple help make it seem a little brighter. The other cards seem a little too dark. Removing the black outline from around the icons also, I think, helped. As you can see, the arrow icon's a little bit different. I think this one's a little cleaner than the other one. I like the clock icon a little bit better. I might, again, change that, but that's actually pretty cute looking. And then the anvil, not bad. All of these are very, very simple. Yeah. Again, the sand could just be the full blocks of the full plank blocks. Again, yeah, it doesn't really matter which I use. It's just to mark. No, don't change anything here unless necessary. But yeah, it's just to mark things. And like here, I got an extra 2-block gap between each line. If you didn't notice that. Mainly so for letters like Y and P and G, I have a little bit extra, so in order to make a Y, which I'd probably do in black, if I were to do a Y, it would be something like, it's too much, something like that. That's a Y. I mean, it even looks like a Y. There's still room under here for me to place things, and it looks like a lowercase y. So if I ever, for whatever reason, had to write like an uppercase Y for like, I guess, Yorkshire Terrier or something, I could do something a little bit more like that. You know, that doesn't look too bad. Same goes for a G. G is pretty easy. G is pretty easy right there. And then that doesn't get mixed up. And also P, pretty much the same thing for P and lowercase q. P would be a little bit more like that. Then you can say that's a lowercase p, whereas something more like so would be uppercase P. I mean, other than their location, there is literally no difference between the two. For the most part, all the letters are about 3 blocks tall here. Not 100%. Yeah, not 100% of them are. For instance, there's letters like S, which even the lowercase s looks like that. That's more than 3 blocks, that's 4 blocks. It doesn't bother me too much, I'm not too upset. You can still tell the difference between that and in uppercase S. Which is more along those lines. You can still tell the difference. One's uppercase, one's lowercase. Another letter that actually does bother me is to its specific degree of... No, I'm trying to remember how to do it. Yes. I don't know why I forgot. Is the E. This is the smallest E I could come up with. It still looks like an E. I have done E's that look a little bit different, but that is the smallest I can come up with that still can be considered an E. I mean, yeah, you could put that there if you wanted to, but that kind of just, it looks ugly now. This kind of resembles an E enough so that in a word you look at it and be like, yeah, that's an E. Yeah, a couple other letters. I don't know why I have stat spelled with the T's with a little extra bit there. I don't know why I did that because I don't typically write like that, like ever. Typically when I do T's, they're gonna be more like. Why did I put them even like? Why did I do this? This is so bad. This is a little bit. Yeah, I did that one right. I did it so weird. Okay. This is also another version of the letter S. I like the one below. It looks a little bigger. This one just looks kind of scraggly and weird. Yeah, and then A's. This is an A. This is kind of an odd looking A. I don't know why it's so big. I don't know why it's so screwy. Typically, how I do a name. That's an A. That's typically a lowercase a. Yeah, it might look a little bit weird, but honestly, it's fine. Yeah, the letters look better when they're in words. That's why it looks weird. I did it backwards. This is why you don't like this dyslexic people do things. That looks much better. That looks more like an A. I knew there was something wrong with that. Great. Okay, at least I can fix it. Let's see here. Now, over here is kind of the color palette I've gone for rarity. So common is going to be a leaf green. Leaf green's different from a green. I think it's a little bit lighter than green, but a little bit darker than lime. So it's kind of a weird in-between green. Honestly, if you ask me, kind of not a bad green. It works for a good starter color and easy to get a lot of leaves. Then rare is going to be red. Now, I can use mangrove logs. I ran into a wandering trader, actually, while I was working on the map, and he had propagules, and I bought a propagule for much more expensive than I probably should have. But I had the emeralds, and he had the propagule, and 5 emeralds for 1 propagule is really, really stupid. But if I can get a propagule, that's all I care about. Anyhow, the next color is going to be epic. Now this, I'm using warped blocks. The warped wart isn't really blue. You might think it's blue. You might think it's blue, but it's not. It's kind of a weird turquoisey. I think it's a good color. Yeah. Blue and light blue look a little bit more. Here's light blue. There's kind of those variants. Now, is a little bit more green than blue. Looks a bit more like cyan, you might say. Okay, I'll throw in cyan just so you can kind of get an idea of how different it is. It's not quite cyan colored either. It's close. It is very, very close. I will give it that. It's not, though. At the same time, it's closer to blue than it is to cyan. But it's kind of cyany. Cyan's a bit dark. So, yeah, yeah. In general, I think this is a decent color to kind of denote the epic cards. Kind of cyan, kind of not, kind of a neat orange orange, green. Yeah, it looks good. Now, the next color, I'm kind of torn on this one, is purple, pretty much. Now, because purple's already in the design, I almost don't want to do purple as the exterior color. Tempted to try to go with a different color. It's got to be different enough from all those. Maybe a yellow just doesn't look really good with the birch sand color. Dark yellow still doesn't look very good. Something kind of bright that pops, but I don't know how good orange would be. Maybe orange. Maybe orange. How's that look with birch? You know, maybe I can do orange instead of purple. Orange seems like it would work. Or actually, how about I change some colors around? Because you see the bottom part, I kind of use that as kind of a or way of denoting how rare something is. Coal is super common. Emerald blocks, not as common. I don't know why I chose emerald. Emerald's not the greatest denotation there. Gold, less common, and then diamond, yeah, special. And don't worry about that part, that's later. So, I'm thinking maybe we go with orange there, sand there, or warp to warp block there, because, yeah, the orange works. That I would do. That I would do around the edges. Getting a lot of orange color, that's yellow and red. Not actually that difficult, surprisingly. We kind of do a little bit of a corner and a kind of, yeah, that I could do. Don't know why I didn't choose orange before, but yeah, the orange works. So we got green, red, orange, blue, I want to say. It's kind of a blue cyan. And then there will be extra cards. I don't really know what I'm going to call them. But there are other card ideas and options, because there's a lot more dogs. The dogs that I've chosen to use are only dogs that are recognized by AKC, the American Kennel Club. So only recognized for sure by the American Kennel Club. Now, there are dogs that are recognized by other countries, other kennel clubs, because they got more of them. They got, like, a dozen other dogs that aren't even in AKC yet. A lot of those breeds are hoping to get into AKC at some point. They're just not there yet. They're working on it, though. They'll get there soon, eventually, So that might be where that goes, if I have time and patience. And then there's dogs that have gone extinct. There's a lot of breeds that don't exist anymore that have gone extinct. So, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the general idea for now as to what I'm going to do. The leaves are mangrove leaves, I know that. It's just because that's what I have. Probably end up using ochre birch or something else. I don't know what else. Yeah, this is the idea I'm gonna go with, which, yeah, I think it's a good idea, good start. Just needs done. Just needs done. And I've already got my start on it, so hopefully it won't take me too long to complete. It will probably take me longer than I want. Luckily, I can just keep, for the most part, this whole thing and then change the bits as change the stats and other bits as necessary. This section here, of course, is where the numbers would go. Sand isn't necessarily the final block. It could very well just be birch planks.
that's how we're getting started. Yeah, a big project. We'll see if I can manage. I'm kind of thinking I won't be able to, but we'll see. Yeah, that'll be it for me today. See you next time. Bye.